Hi there, welcome to I Alone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Virgo energy. And we're going to do a 10 card spread this time, and we're going to look at it from a couple different perspectives because not everybody harnesses high vibe Virgo energy. We're all learning lessons in life, and some people have learned some more lessons than some other people. And, you know, high vibe is about putting in work and effort to release yourself from things that have manipulated you in your life, learning lessons in life, working through your fears, your insecurity, your prideful nature, your immature nature. You know, we all have our shadowy nature, which is kind of our more immature, all about ourself nature. Lazy, prideful, defensive, egotistical, self-centered, lack self-discipline. You know, and some people have learned lessons in life that I need to grow and mature myself and quit acting that way. And some people have, and some people haven't. Some people have learned more about it than other people. So some people, Virgo energy also can be about what our long-term objective is. And some people's long-term objective is all about the world. I want a certain status and image. I want power. I want influence. I want people to invest in me, and maybe it's more about me than me being in a relationship where we invest in each other equally. High vibe is about learning lessons and wanting to be an emotionally mature, stable, grounded, self-aware, loving person. Some people don't even build a life based on love, except self-love. It's all about me. I have to defend myself. I don't want to do love. I get hurt, but I might want to be in a relationship, but I want to keep being defensive to being hurt. So it's kind of like being in a relationship with someone who's in their defensive ego nature all the time and not really letting their more authentic, hopeful, believing nature come out to play. And then it can seem like you're in a more superficial, shallow relationship. So the truth sets us free. We just need to see the truth of where different people are at, what lessons they've learned in life, what holds them back. So we're also going to get out an energy oracle card. We have the temple path sideways, so we could look at it as moving, you know, in the upright. You know, and if I think life's about learning lessons, we're all like little children learning to walk in life, and I think we're supposed to do that throughout our life to really become who we were meant to be, free of our more worldly, egoic nature, to be like a spiritual leader in the world where we help other people heal and grow and love themselves and believe in themselves and believe in their dreams and their unique talent, skills, and interests. But some people, you have to make the free will choice. We have a dualistic nature. We have free will. And some people don't choose that path. Some people are working to find the people who are on the same path as them. And the reason is because of the world card. The world card in tarot talks about learning lessons. And some people, that's not their truth. Virgo energy is about also what is our truth. What do we want to invest our time, energy, and effort into? What's important to us? For some people, it is the world. I'm about me. I'm about these things of the world. That's the most important thing. The overarching reason for the reading is the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is walking to the Nine of Cups, which is, what do I find emotionally fulfilling? What is my idea of the dream life, the dream relationship? Is it about indulging myself, indulging my ego, indulging in these things of the world? Or high vibe Nine of Cups in Pisces energy, which Virgo and Pisces are on opposite sides of the zodiac wheel. And it's about trying to find a balance between the two. In my Virgo energy, which is earth sign energy, I do want these things that I want to accomplish in the world, that I want to invest in, that I would find enjoyable. But it's also about being balanced with your Pisces emotional nature, intuitive nature, that I also want to be connected in with my emotions and my intuition and my loving nature and my hopeful believing nature. And it's finding a balance between the two, being more independent. This is going to the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is about being more emotionally independent in high vibe from my just being so much about me or these things of the world. I want a balance between the two. I want to be more independent from my worldly nature to let love and intuition be what guides me in my life so that I do have a balance of both. High Vibe Virgo is about having a balance between these things of the world that I want, but also being an authentic, loving, insightful, authentic relationships. And other people are all about indulging themselves in these things of the world. And it's just more about them than being in balance. The scales of justice talk about being in balance. It's when we're in balance where we are equally balanced between these things of the world, but our loving, intuitive nature also. And that's when we can move forward most successfully. So everybody's going to, some people don't want to do love. Some people don't want to be more independent in the world. They want to be more codependent in their relationships to the world, to other people. And other people do want to be more independent of their more worldly nature. And we just need to see the truth about who's who. So we start out with the Queen of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles and a card not showing itself. The Queen of Wands, the Queens in Tarot can talk about how we think and feel. And the masculine figures in Tarot can talk about the action that we're taking in the world. But why are we taking that action? And the Queen of Wands is either about operating from our ego in Leo energy or being inspired to, again, let love and intuition guide us, because we want to be authentic. We want to be loving and warm and nurturing and supportive people. And we're encouraged to be in relationship with other people who are like that. And other people might like to be in relationships with people who operate more by their ego, more caught up in these things of the world, because that's what they're caught up in. Whatever it is that drives people, their more egoic nature or their more loving, intuitive, bold, brave, confident nature, that's what people are wanting to have a new beginning in. And sometimes we can get in mismatched relationships and we don't realize we harness these energies differently, but we also could harness this energy differently, which is the Three of Cups, which is Cancer energy. Do we use our emotions more manipulatively in our life, operating from our defensive egoic nature or more about ourself, and we hide from people that we use our emotions and maybe our fiery nature, which can be our sexuality, our charm, our charisma? Do we use all those things to try to emotionally manipulate people, but we don't want people to know that? So those people are hiding that they use their emotions manipulatively. Why? Because they reject harnessing Cancer energy of self-love and love of others. They reject harnessing it in a high vibe way, and they don't want people to know, with it not showing itself, that they do use their emotions manipulatively in a relationship. And sometimes people who are like that, that's how they view life, and they could think that's how other people view life. And what they don't realize, just like high vibe people who are loving and nurturing, who thinks everybody would want to do love, we just assume everybody harnesses this energy the same way we do, but not everybody does. And some people that are more, we meet in the world, are more about indulging themselves. They go to try to get in relationships with other people, but they don't realize that those people operate from a foundation of love. And we can get in relationships with people. There can be a lot of things we like about them. Again, the Queen of Wands in fire energy and the Nine of Cups, going to the Nine of Cups, we have these things that we want, that we enjoy, that we're attracted to, and we can think we're on the same page, but for a long time with some of the people we're in a relationship with, we don't realize that someone does harness their emotions in a little bit more manipulative way, that their long-term goal is more motivated by themselves or these things of the world instead of love. And we can be in relationships and friendships with people for a long time until we do realize that. I would say high vibe people are listening to their intuition, because the queens in high vibe can be that you are connected in with your emotional nature. So the high vibe people want a new beginning. They are listening to their intuition. And what other people might not know about them till they get to know them is that they are motivated and inspired to build a foundation based on love. Then we have the Two of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Five of Swords, and the Eight of Cups. Everybody can want to be in a relationship or be in a job, get a new job. The Hierophant can talk about all these institutions of the world, like workplaces, family dynamics, friendship groups, organizations, and marriage. High vibe people want to be in relationships with people. The Two of Cups is also Cancer energy. I want to be in relationships with people who harness high vibe Taurus energy, who act with character and integrity, who have learned all these different lessons in life. And Taurus energy of the Hierophant kind of represents our philosophy of life. We've done the debating within ourselves. Our shadow nature and our high vibe nature have battled and argued with each other inside of ourselves, kind of on a subconscious level. And we've come out with like the Supreme Court rule of the land, how we're going to live our life. High vibe people want to be in relationships with other people that, as they've done the debate within themselves, they choose hope and faith and belief in love. And that is the guiding factor when they make decisions in their life, not a more shadowy, worldly Taurus philosophy of life. Well, would this be good for my status and my ego and my image? Would this person indulge me in a relationship? Can I manipulate this person? You know, what is people's philosophy of life? And so people are moving forward, reaching out to different people in the Knight of Cups, making offers to people, if it's to get a new job, meet a new friend, how they interact with other people, if they want to get in a relationship or get married. People are taking this action. And the Knight of Cups is Pisces energy, just like the Eight of Cups. In between that, we have the Five of Swords, which again is kind of what is my truth. And the Five of Swords is Aquarius energy. What is my dream? Going to the Nine of Cups, Pisces energy, is also about what is my dream? What do I think would be emotionally fulfilling in my life? Sadly, some people want to win at all costs, is what the Five of Swords can talk about. I want a certain status and image, or I just want to be in a relationship. But the Hierophant does talk about, I do want maybe a certain status or image or luxury in life. And for some people, that's why they are getting in relationships with people. I want to indulge in being in a relationship that has a certain status or image or luxury to it. I don't really care who gets hurt. I don't care if I'm using my emotions manipulatively. I don't care if I'm using my sexuality manipulatively, my looks, my resources, whatever I got. I want those things. And that's how some people live their life. Some people have a lot of mental conflict within themselves, and they just try to get in relationships to help relieve them of their mental conflict. You know, if we're kind of in shadowy energy, fear, insecurity, pride, ego, envy, jealousy, greed, lack mentality, you know, we can all want to be in a relationship to feel better. Even though we might have mental conflict about it, because we might just be indulging ourselves in that relationship. It's more about me and the reasons why I want to be in it that aren't love. I'm in my ego. I could be mad at someone else. People could have already been in relationships, and maybe someone, you know, the Ace of Cups, somebody offered them love to get in a relationship, but then maybe as time went by in that relationship, in some of the mismatched relationships, the other person ended up holding back from them because they saw the truth that this person doesn't really operate from love, might have mental conflict about high vibe Taurus, acting with character and integrity, being someone who really walks the talk. They might present themselves as someone who's like a pillar of society, and like they're this just and fair and loving and self-insightful person, and then you get in a relationship with them and you could find that they have a lot of mental conflict about being more independent of their ego nature and defensive nature. Well, if I want to be in a relationship based on love, how can I keep staying in a relationship with someone who's unwilling to become independent of their defensive nature? They might want to keep being in the relationship, but they want to hold back in the Four of Pentacles. I don't really want to open up. I don't really want to give of myself. The Four of Pentacles in people's Capricorn energy that they could harness can be that they're more just holding on to this old foundation is what the Four of Pentacles can talk about. And I do operate more from my more defensive nature or self nature. And in order to move forward in life, I'd have to add the Ace of Pentacles to the Four of Pentacles, which is the Five of Pentacles, letting go of that defensive nature, that old way of viewing life. I'd have to offer love to my worldly nature, my fearful nature, my defensive nature. But that has to be that I have to be willing to incorporate like hope and faith and belief and love into my philosophy of life to even offer love to myself. I want to become more independent of these things that manipulate me so they don't keep manipulating me. And to be open to love, to take that higher cup of love, to work together with people cooperatively in love. And some people are unwilling to do that. There can be people in the world, they are kind of more about themselves. They like to be kind of indulged in a relationship. I want to get you into a relationship, get you to move forward with me in a relationship, and then my philosophy of life is you should offer love to this relationship, and you should never take that cup of higher love to get out of your more worldly view of life, making your life about me or these things of the world. I don't want you to take that cup of higher love to look at life from a higher perspective or be more independent of your more worldly egoic nature, because I live life from my more worldly egoic nature. I could make my life more about wanting to win at all costs in the world, have a certain status and image in the world, operate more from our fear and our insecurity and our codependency. If I get in a relationship with you, I want you to keep making your life about those things. Well, initially we all grow up in the world. We're all kind of caught up in these things of the world and all these things that we want and the things that we can go indulge in at different phases of our life because we're sure that's going to make us happy. And we maybe really haven't learned to love ourselves. And I think learning to love ourselves, love our more worldly nature, so that we can look at life from a higher perspective where we are kind of inspired to love and believe in ourselves and become more independent in the world to live our authentic life. High Vibe Leo is about living your authentic life. I'm not letting my light shine. I'm no longer going to make my life about letting all these things manipulate me and making my life more about conforming to the world. I want to live my authentic life. And that can take, I think, loving yourself's the hardest thing to do. All when we're in junior high and high school or going to college or the early years of our life, we really kind of want to fit in with people. We want people to like us. We want all these things, but we haven't really learned that how about if I operate from a foundation of love and I treat other people the way I like to be treated and I walk the talk and I offer people love, and how about I just live my authentic life and people will judge me probably based on who they are, and I'm going to quit trying to people please people. I'm going to be free. High vibe energy is about being free from these things that manipulate us. I'm not going to be caught up in the illusion anymore that, oh my gosh, I got to present myself a certain way and I need to act a certain way. And it's all this thing of trying to manipulate people to get them to like you and view you a certain way. Why do we have to It's kind of like living more from your mind than your heart. Why am I not just more authentically myself? Why don't I quit being manipulated by the world and take, because the pentacle can mean these things of the world, and why don't I offer myself that cup of love to align with my more loving, hopeful, believing nature to change, instead of trying to indulge people in a relationship to try to get them to like me or view me a certain way. I just am authentically myself, which is just and fair and loving and encouraging. And there's going to be people in the world, shockingly, that hold back from you, because if you're not in shadowy energy and they're kind of more in shadowy energy still of ego, manipulation, because high vibe energy is about being truthful and honest and just and fair and being authentic and being open to giving and receiving love. If other people aren't in that energy yet and they're still more about trying to manipulate people to get them to do what they want, more caught up in these things of the world, yeah, they can hold back from you because you kind of live your life different. You aren't manipulated by the same things that manipulate them. And as long as those things still manipulate them, they don't want to be in relationships with people who are more free, more independent, maybe more authentic. It could get them in their ego, in the Leo energy of, well, why aren't you manipulated by these things I'm manipulated by? Why don't you have some of the same fears and insecurities? Why aren't you manipulated by the world and consumed with, what you look like and what you drive and what you wear? And why aren't you trying to get the world and people in our life to view you a certain way? Well, because I'm not trying to get people to view me a certain way. That would be living more from my mind than my heart, trying to kind of manipulate people. I'm just going to be authentically myself. And some people could be, gasp, I could never. And, becoming more authentically yourself and not being manipulated by all the bullshit, that can take decades of your life. Sometimes in tarot, you hear people talk about the North Node versus the South Node. In the South Node is maybe the first third or first half, and for some people their whole life, where we're learning these lessons about being more independent and really aligned with being authentically who we are and in our truth, and kind of being a spiritual leader in the world. I'm not going to let my more immature, indulgent, prideful, egotistical, lazy, consumed with these things of the world manipulate me anymore. I'm going to become independent of my more worldly nature. I am going to be like, I view high vibe Leo energy as like, I'm going to give myself the things that I wish other people would give me. So I have a philosophy of life that I'm going to love my worldly nature so that I'm like my best mother, father, coach voice to myself. Because in a more worldly, shadowy way of living life, we can be in more codependent energy where we're looking outside of ourselves for other people to validate our worth and value and for other people to love us. Kind of like a child would when you're a child and you have parents and you're kind of codependent on those people to make you feel emotionally stable and make you feel grounded and, provide those things for us. And we can repeat that pattern in the world. I'm looking for someone to kind of play that role in my life again because I haven't learned to love myself. And then we can be in relationships where we can stay in relationships with people we have a lot of inner conflict about staying in a relationship with, because maybe we could feel that they're being boss, in shadowy type energy, bossy, controlling, manipulative, prideful, egotistical, indulgent, not opening up, being kind of selfish. And we feel unloved, but we have a lot of mental conflict about walking away from them because we're kind of still in that codependent energy. And in order to walk away, we'd have to love ourselves enough to stand up for what we believe in. And it will require us to love ourselves and give ourselves those things. And that's why we could kind of get into all those different relationships, because it is trying to help us get clear about what our truth is. Do we love ourselves enough to stand up for what we believe in? Or are we going to stay in relationships where we're trying to move forward in love and the other person is like, no, my philosophy is life is I love me in a more shadowy way, self-centered way. I make my life about me. You're supposed to be codependent, not love and believe in yourself, and you're supposed to get in a relationship because you hold back from loving yourself. And then I can emotionally manipulate you in a relationship, and I can be bossy, controlling, manipulative, and you'll keep indulging me in a relationship because you really haven't learned to love yourself. You know, we come in contact with all these different people to help us get clear about what our truth is, and Virgo energy goes within to see the truth. And when we feel emotionally manipulated in a relationship, some people are more about the world. They could love their more worldly nature in Taurus and Capricorn energy. I'm more about me. I'm more about these things of the world that I want to indulge in. Or money and materialism. I'll indulge someone else to have those things. Or I want someone to indulge me. And we could have had different people move away from us because they want to go indulge in those things of the world that they love indulging in. And that's their philosophy of life. You know, people can present themselves as a very stable, grounded, mature person, but are they really more about indulging themselves in some things of the world? And we all think it's just and fair, however we're living our life at any stage of our life, and they probably think it's just and fair. And some people could have left some high vibe people because they had an opportunity to get in a relationship with someone who either had money or someone who didn't learn to love themselves, and they feel they can go control that person or manipulate that person. And while they were in a relationship with you, you could have offered love to your own mental conflict to heal from some past pain and heartbreak, fears and insecurities, and you became more independent in the relationship. So you weren't the same person you could have been when you got in a relationship with someone, and then those people don't like it. I don't want to keep being in a relationship with you. You've changed. You've learned to love yourself. I can't manipulate you and control you. You're not indulging me the way you used to indulge me before, like in my ego, or my immature nature, or my bossy nature, or my controlling nature, or my stubborn nature, or you're just not about these things of the world anymore like you used to be. So I don't want to be in a relationship with you. I'm going to go find someone else to be in a relationship with. I might like being in relationships with people who are sad. Then I can emotionally manipulate them. I might purposely try to find people in the world who seem to have a lot of mental conflict about being more independent. Perfect. You're my kind of person. Let's get married. You're codependent. Perfect. Let's get married. Let's be in a relationship. And that's the kind of some people like to be in relationships with people who are like that. And it could be because they don't want to be more independent of the world. They might have their own fears, insecurities, self-limiting beliefs, and they want to be in relationships just with other people who are on the same page as them. And if other people become more independent and kind of like they want to move forward in a more mature relationship based on love, where people really do walk the talk, some of the other people are like, I'm not moving forward with you in that type of relationship. I have mental conflict about love. I could get hurt doing love. I don't want to have to act with character and integrity. Pisces energy can be, I have this illusion about what it means to be in a relationship. I have some growing up and maturing to do. In tarot, we have the pages, we have the knights, we have the kings and queens, we have the emperor and empress, and we have the hierophant and high priestess. It's about learning these lessons in life. Some people still have a lot of lessons to learn in life, and other people have learned a lot of lessons in life. Just how to act with character and integrity, being more self-disciplined, more mature, being more authentic, being more loving, not being as selfish, not being as indulgent. You know, we're all on the different spectrums of having learned lessons. And when we realize we're in a relationship with someone who we might feel does have these illusions about what it means to be in a relationship. That maybe shadowy Aquarius can be people who thinks it should be more about them. Everybody else in this relationship should put aside their pride and ego, but not me. I'm like the star of the show, you know, and I don't ever plan to change my philosophy of life. I want to keep moving forward, indulging myself in this philosophy of life. This is how I view relationships. This is how I view me. I could be full of myself. I think I do have this certain status and image in the world. I do look like a shining star. People should want to be in a relationship with me because of how I look, or the money that I have, or whatever. And this is how I view relationships, and I don't plan to change it, maybe ever. And other people, as they get to know people, kind of realize, oh, this person is more about themselves. This person is more about ego and image, or money and materialism, or this person is manipulative, or this person is more stubborn and controlling than I realized. And then people kind of feel like if I keep staying in this relationship, I feel like I'm going to miss out on an opportunity in love. Why would I be tempted to stay in this relationship? Well, for one, because I have mental conflict about walking away, because then I have to become independent of them. And I really would have to, and I can love people. I can have siblings, parents, friends, coworkers, people I've been in romantic relationships with that I love, but I don't really like that they are never willing to detach from some ways of being that are kind of shadowy. Are you ever going to grow up? Are you ever going to quit being full of yourself, or being competitive, or hurtful, or unkind, or whatever? And eventually people are like, yeah, I think I'll keep my distance from you. And the people in my life who do seem to be more on the same page as me, I can be sad because I would like those people to move forward with me in that way, but I can't make them move forward in that way. And am I going to keep indulging someone in poor behavior? We've all kind of lived our life at times where some people have probably distanced themselves from us. What were we indulging in? What ways of being that people are like, yeah, I think I don't really care to hang out with you anymore. Are we going to hold people accountable for their actions? Or are we not? Love is supposed to be just and fair. People who love you are supposed to treat you the way you treat them and the way they like to be treated. But that isn't some people's philosophy of life, because that's a philosophy based on love. Some people are like, no, it's kind of more about me being indulged. And it's like, okay, yeah, you go hang out with who you want to go hang out with, and you keep moving forward with those people. And I'm going to maybe go spend time with some other people, and maybe I'll just see you at Christmas time, or see you out in the world periodically. But do I want to date you, or marry you, or keep dating you, or being married to you? No. Because I don't think you're very loving, or very just, or very fair. You might think you are, but your idea of the dream life and what you find emotionally fulfilling and what drives and motivates you is different than what drives and motivates me. There can be people right now, the Queen of Wands, Leo energy, it's who in your life do you think is a more envious, jealous, manipulative, controlling person? Who harnesses high vibe Leo energy, and who harnesses more shadowy Leo energy? Who are the people who different people could want to be your friend or be in a relationship with you? Who are the people who seem to be authentic and loving, who've changed, who are more independent, who do work with character, act with character and integrity, who are aligned with truth and love? And who are the people in your life who like to present themselves as being that type of person, but they're defensive to really walking the talk, getting out of their ego or their defensive nature, or codependent on other people in their life that are like a primary foundation in their life, but they might want to be in a relationship with you, but even marry you, even have children with you. But you're like a third party to their being more aligned with being about themselves in their ego or other people in their life that is a core foundation in their life. And even if you marry them and have children with them, you're like the third party. If those other people in their life were to say, I don't like those people, I think you should let those people go, they would defend those people and let you go because they're codependent on those people, whether it's a friend group or their original family group or they're just defensive nature. It's gotten to the point this person really wants us to like grow up and mature ourselves, let them go so then they align with their more self-centered ego or defensive to love nature. Or they have people in their life, and if those people are like, I don't like those people are different than us, even though the other person could love you, if they let other people that they're codependent on and those people say you shouldn't move forward with those people, I don't like them, it can cause them a lot of mental conflict because they could love the high vibe people in their life, but they have mental conflict about being more independent of those people, and they look to those people for their sense of stability or security and aren't willing to kind of stand up for themselves and what they believe in. And sometimes you can get in a relationship with people and you come to realize that, and you realize like you're a third party to, you want the third party to be love and intuition and love for bringing this dream into reality together. And sometimes you kind of realize, oh, your ego and self-importance or your image or the world is the third party in our relationship, and I didn't realize that. Your primary loyalty is to the world or your ego and your image or these other people, and it's not about being more independent in the world. Those are the things that really drive and motivate you, and not love. So the more worldly, shadowy, there can always be more worldly, shadowy people that see other people moving forward in the world, whether those are friends or family or romantic interests. I don't like that those people seem to be having their dreams come into reality. And the divine also wants to know if they know in a relationship that one person is really kind of walking the talk and operating from love, the divine is going to tempt people, because there's temptation around us all the time. Our own more worldly, egoic nature tempts us. And then there's people in the world who kind of represent those aspects within ourselves that try to tempt people and could communicate with people. I want to have a new beginning with you. By the way, I'm not operating from love. I'm in my ego. I don't like that you're moving forward in a relationship with someone else, or it looks like you're going to manifest your dreams into reality. I want to be in a relationship with you. I want to win at all costs. And there could be some people right now, if they are in a matched relationship, they're going to hold back from those people. Because I might be sad. I would have liked to have been in a relationship with you. I could have been in a relationship with you before, and I like that relationship. But if I'm in a high vibe relationship already, I've already met other people where I have that type of relationship. Could I be sad that that relationship in the past didn't work out? Maybe while you were off learning lessons and I was off learning lessons. Yeah, but I did offer love to my mental conflict and I healed. And now I've kind of become independent of that relationship and I've gotten in a new relationship, or I've just learned to love myself. And if somebody tries to come back in my life, it's like, I'm not the same person I was before. And, you know, it's not a relationship I want to get back involved in, because I don't think you've changed. And I think, whatever you went to go indulge in just didn't work out the way you wanted. But I've kind of seen the truth that you do have this mental conflict about being more independent and that you are more about the world. And that's not the type of relationship I want to be in. Whether you're someone I know or you're someone I meet and I get to know you, this could be that I'm willing to get to know people, but I'm maybe not going to jump into like a love relationship with them right away. I'm going to get to know them. Knight of Cups, I'm going to get to know them to find out what their truth is in the Five of Swords and see what people enjoy in their life, what their goals are, what their dreams are, get to figure out what their philosophy of life is, how they view life, try to get a sense if I think they're more pride and ego and or indulgent or immature or stubborn or whatever. And the people who seem to be on the same page as me are the people that I want to hold on to and I'll have a new beginning with. And the people that I get to know that don't seem to be on the same page as me are the people I will hold back from. And I might be sad because there might be a part of me that would like to indulge in a relationship with them for some reason. But I've learned these lessons in life. And I know if I take action more from pride and ego, it's probably not going to turn out the way I want. Because if I get in a relationship with someone who I know doesn't really seem to be motivated and inspired by love, in my ego, I could want to invest in a relationship with them and indulge myself in it. But it's probably not going to turn out the way I want because we're just not on the same page. And so I'm not going to indulge my more egoic nature that might want to go indulge in some things. I'm going to keep loving myself, offering love to deal with my own mental conflict about the fact that there might be some things I'm not indulging in right now because I am walking the talk and treating myself with love and respect and character and integrity because I want to be in relationships with people who are more on the same page as me. And there could be people watching some high vibe people that's like, damn, I'd like to be in a relationship with that person, but I have mental conflict about it because I know that person acts with character and integrity, has learned these lessons in life. I won't be able to operate from these old ways of being in relationships that can be more prideful, egotistical, manipulative, more about themselves. And they'd have to walk away from that way of being. And some of them aren't willing to do it, others are. And as we're moving forward in life and people are communicating with us and we're meeting new people, we have to listen to our intuition about, because some people just get over their mental conflict and I'm going to go try to indulge in a relationship with them anyway, even though I'm going to try to create an illusion about who I am. That shadowy Pisces. I'm going to try to create an illusion that, I'm not doing this just because I'm in my ego or in my lust or my greed. And I'm going to see if I can try to manipulate you anyway. And high vibe people will listen to their intuition. Oops, sorry, a card dropped on the floor. So high vibe people are going to listen to their intuition about who's who, even though they would really maybe like to indulge in it. It's like, no, I don't want to repeat that old pattern of a relationship. I've already been in a relationship with people who are more about themselves, that haven't learned lessons in life, who don't really act with character and integrity and love. It's more of the illusion of love. And so then those people are maybe going to stay living their life and staying in the relationships or whatever and hanging out with the people they hang out with and holding on to those people because those people are more on the same page as them. They just might not find those people, to be in a relationship with someone who's more high vibe than some of the people we've been hanging out with would be someone who's more self-disciplined within themselves, more loving, more nurturing, more supportive, more encouraging, doesn't have some of the same mental conflict or stubbornness or pride or ego or immaturity that some of the other people. So even worldly, shadowy people like to be in relationships with loving people. It's just that loving people have learned not to be in relationships with people who aren't on the same page as them because they've already been in relationships with people who are like that. So there might be people making people an offer right now to get in a relationship. Some people are on the same page. They are both motivated and inspired by love. And they might have to work through some issues to get to having that new beginning in the relationship. Like, if you didn't get in a relationship with me before, or you were in a relationship with me before, why did you walk away? If I had offered you love before, and you had mental conflict about moving forward with me in a more formal commitment or committed relationship, why was that? And we have to, is everybody willing to tell the truth? Yeah, at different times in my life, I did have mental conflict about getting in a more committed relationship. I was kind of immature. I got in these other relationships and I realized I used to think it'd be fun. I just want to go indulging in these things of the world, and I thought it would make me happy, and I realized it doesn't, because probably the people who are willing to keep staying in a relationship with me are just like me, and they're just indulging too. And it really wasn't love. And I learned that if I do want to be in relationships with people who are loving, that's the type of person I need to be. And I need to walk away from indulging myself in this philosophy of life of thinking, oh, I'll be happy to be more about myself and indulging myself. And I got to grow up. And then I am ready to be in a relationship with someone who's loving and hold on to that person, because I don't want to miss an opportunity in love. And I've realized love does make it all worthwhile. So that's what high vibe people are looking for. And some of them have made offers to people. Some of the people they made offers to, they're not on the same page as them, or they're already in that type of relationship with someone else. And the high vibe people are going to be like, okay, well then my dream can't come into reality here. I'm not going to stay in mental conflict about it. I'm going to offer myself love to keep putting in work and effort to keep moving forward, believing in my dreams. The divine must have a different plan for my life. And the people that are more worldly focused, they're going to, if they think they've got someone right now who they think doesn't really love and believe in themselves and is more codependent, yeah, they might get in a relationship with them. You're not going anywhere, right? You are going to indulge me kind of in my shadowy nature, worldly nature in a relationship? Perfect. Let's get married. And they might do that. Or for some of them, if they're in a relationship with someone who's more loving, and they're at that stage in the relationship where the person wants a dream to come into reality, then they could be defensive to them. And it's kind of like, oops, sorry. I did create the illusion I was willing to get in a more formal commitment with you, but I'm really not. And I was just indulging in it until you saw the truth of it. And now that you apparently see the truth of it, I guess it's over, right? And the other person's like, yep, I'm leaving. And they're like, damn, now I got to go find someone else to go indulge in a relationship until they see through the illusion of who I am. And they'll probably keep doing that over and over, because some people don't want to do love. I want to indulge in loving relationships and indulge in relationships, but I really don't want to do love. And if people want me to do love, then I need to get out of the relationship, and I can be with them for a long time before they realize I'm never really going to do love. I don't like to open up. So what's coming up for the high vibe people? We have the Two of Cups and the Fool. And the reason is because of the Queen of Wands. High vibe people are harnessing high vibe Cancer and Aries energy because of the Queen of Wands. They're willing to take a leap of faith in love. And if the people that they would like to be in relationships with are in relationships with other people, okay, well, I guess God's got a journey plan for me. I'm going to go on a new journey. And I'm going to keep walking the talk. And I'm not going to get in relationships more out of my pride or ego or lust or greed. And I'm going to go on this new journey. And I might go And if I do have a new beginning right now, it's going to be with someone who's in that same energy as me. That if they were moving forward in life a certain way, if they realized, wait a minute, wait, why am I in this relationship? Why is this other person in the relationship with me? Is it more because of ego or image or indulgence? Am I indulging them? Are they indulging me? Is this love? And if they realize the people that they are in a relationship with, or the way they've been living their life, and they have an opportunity to be in a relationship with someone who really does do love and is loving and encouraging, they could not keep moving forward with how they have been living their life to get in a relationship with someone who they think is more on the same page as them. What's coming up for people who might harness a more shadowy, worldly Virgo energy? I'm not sure if I said Virgo up there when I got out those cards. Too late now. But everything happens for a reason. We have the Ace of Cups. Why? Because of the Emperor and the Five of Wands. Well, when people act kind of shadowy in a relationship in some way, they can have loving, encouraging people in their life who have been offering them that cup of love in the Ace of Cups. Because they would, when we're in a job, a friendship, and a relationship, we would like those things to work. And we have mental conflict about walking away and, but there can come a time where eventually people just wish them a cup of love and they've decided, I can be loving and encouraging to other people, but the Five of Swords here and the Five of Wands, I can't make other people change. I can't make people get out of their defensive nature. I can't make people get out of their more worldly, competitive, or egoic nature. It's a free will choice to do love. And eventually other people, the Emperor, can talk about making a decision. I've realized the only person I can change is me. And I have been trying to love and encourage people to move forward with me in high vibe Leo energy in a more authentic, loving way, growing up, acting with character and integrity. And they seem to have mental conflict about it. So I've seen the truth. The only person I can change is me. And I am going to become independent of my own shadow nature and these people and my being in my ego about it. And I'm going to decide to love and believe in myself, that where people before, you could look at our dualistic natures, when we're aligned with one side of our nature, the other side is like the competition, and the Five of Wands is like the competition. I've lived my life like this. I've been in a relationship with people like this. Why don't I love myself enough to offer? And then the Emperor's Aries energy about the self. Why don't I love myself enough to hold back from people who are unloving, and to love myself enough and go align with my more hopeful, believing, loving nature, and make the decision in my philosophy of life to love myself so that I can become independent of my more worldly, shadowy nature, which makes me stay in relationships with people who are happy I'm in that energy. And I don't want to be in that energy anymore, and I can't make them change. So there's people in my life I have to become independent of because I've changed. Why? I learned to love myself. And I can offer people love and resources and compassion and forgiveness. Am I going to stay in a relationship with you? No. Am I going to spend much time and energy with you anymore? No. Because I've seen the truth. And I'm no longer in my ego about it. And you have free will to live your life whatever way you want. But the way you want to live your life and the way I want to live my life is different. We're not on the same page. I've changed. And the shadowy people could be shocked because they never do that. They never change. They keep repeating this old pattern, and we all repeat a pattern until we learn the lesson we were meant to learn from it. And some people did this work because they were kind of in their ego about the relationship or how they were living their life. Why do I keep living my life like this? Why do I keep acting this way, investing in people that are like this? And they did this work to go within to deal with their own mental conflict about being more independent and loving themselves. And then they changed. They weren't the same person they were anymore. They offered love to the people in their life to move forward with them like this. And those people said, no, I don't think you'll really change. I think you might walk away, but then I think you'll probably have inner conflict or be sad. And I think you'll come back and want to do the relationship the way I do it. And for some people, that's not happening. Other people keep moving forward and they don't get in their ego about it, and some people were trying to manipulate them. I don't like that you've changed. I don't like that you love and believe in yourself now. I'm going to purposely do things to cause you mental conflict, because if you're not going to do the relationship the way I don't want you here. And I think if you leave, you'll have this mental conflict and you'll come back and be willing to do the relationship the way I want. And some of those people had people, and some people are having people now leave their life. And those people are going to be gone for good. And by the time these people realize that, it'll be too late, because those people were telling the truth. I want to move forward in life differently. Do you want to come with me in this way or not? And those people didn't want to. So the other people went to go find people who were more on the same page as them. And now the shadowy people might have to get in a relationship, with someone else. And eventually, if they try to manipulate another loving person, the same scenario is going to play out again. And they might end up having to be in a relationship with someone who's like themselves. Someone else who really doesn't want to do love. I could get hurt doing love. I'm more about myself. I have inner conflict. I'm competitive in the world. I'm fearful of being hurt. Let's get in a relationship and stay in a relationship more because we're competitive in the world, and we're maybe in our ego about loving people who wanted us to heal and grow and mature ourselves. Let's get in a relationship, even if it causes us mental conflict, even if we don't love each other. Just because we're so competitive and we want these things of the world, we'll get in a relationship, some of them with people I don't even want to be in a relationship with, but because I want to be in a relationship, because I want a certain status or image, these people have that. They're willing to stay in a relationship with me because I'm so competitive in the world and I want those things. I'll stay in a relationship with someone, even though there might be all this mental conflict and fighting and competitive energy and ego and a lack of love. Do I have these things of the world that I value? Does it give me a certain status or image? Yeah, okay, I'll stay in it. And that is the life they have the free will to manifest. Or just being in a relationship with someone else who might be in more codependent energy also. Who also maybe hasn't learned to really love themselves. So that's when we can get triggered in relationships, because we're acting out of past pain and heartbreak and ego and defensiveness and fear of being hurt. And it could be kind of, but they're both on the same page maybe. So maybe together they can help each other heal and grow and mature because they are more on the same page. So there you go, Virgo energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.